The Galapagos is a beautiful archipelago 600 miles off the west coast of Ecuador. The unique formation and seclusion of the Galapagos means that the islands are home to many unique species. One of those species is the blue-footed booby, a peculiar seabird with stunning bright blue feet. However, the population of the blue-footed booby is decreasing, and something must be done to save them. The Galapagos Islands were formed millions of years ago. With the age of islands varying, each island has unique habitats. Santa Cruz is covered in trees, bushes, and grass. Meanwhile, Fernandina lacks in vegetation and is covered in lava fields. A number of diverse animal species inhabit the islands. There is one animal that tourists love to see. Sula nabuxi, or better known as the blue-footed booby, is a famous resident of the Galapagos. The name booby comes from the Spanish word bobo, which means stupid. When earlier colonists and explorers arrived, they named them so for their clumsy walk and landings. They're seabirds, which are famous for their plunge diving techniques. They circle in the air before diving, sometimes from 80 feet up in the air. Their wings fold all the way back, becoming torpedoes as they hit the water at 24 meters per second. The famous blue feet aren't for looking pretty for tourists, they're for other boobies to look at. The color is hard to produce. Their bodies extract yellow pigment from the fish they consume to create the color. Therefore, the brighter the blue, the healthier the bird. In mating rituals, they flaunt their feet to show that they are strong, healthy adults. The life of the blue-footed booby has been the same for hundreds of thousands of years. That is, until humans arrived. Although there are currently only around 25,000 people living on the islands collectively, the amount of tourists per year frequently surpasses the population. Tourism is a central part of the Galapagos, making up nearly half the local economy. With boats and airplanes arriving to the Galapagos daily, there is the possibility of invasive species hitchhiking. 36 different vertebrate species have been brought to the Galapagos.
So that's a problem. The animals that arrived, when they arrived on the island, there were no predators, there was an open reach, and so they start predating on the animals, on the eggs of the birds, which were obviously very vulnerable being on the ground.
The global need for fish has made the most damaging impact.
With sardines, starting in 2007, the population's crashed, and it's crashed really hard by 97% from 2007 to the beginning of 2017. There's only about 3% of the original population size remaining today. Instead of cutting back on the fishing harvest rates actually increased.
The decline of forage fish in the South Pacific waters has direct impact on the success rate of blue-footed boobies. In the Galapagos, the breeding population has gone from 20,000 birds in the 1960s to 6,000 in 2014. They have simply stopped breeding as they are unable to find enough food to feed both their chicks and themselves. The question now is, how do we save these iconic birds? To do so, we must not work directly on the boobies, but the fish. In an effort to restore the fishery population and to save starving species, the West Coast United States sardine fishery has been closed for the past 3 years. In Peru, Oceana is working on new methods to help both fish and fishermen.
What do you do for the fishermen during periods when you have to close the fishery? And so we're actually talking about some type of fisherman insurance, because it does have an economic impact. But if there can be some type of insurance program set up, then it can help provide a soft landing in a transition.
The Galapagos is an archipelago full of incredible, unique species. The blue-footed booby charms people from all around the world. Yet, due to the fragility in the island ecosystem, humans have to play a part in saving them. To do so, we must not look at the birds, but the environment around them. They cannot survive without an ocean to fish in.